Welcome to the Profit School podcast. Today I want to talk about how to create content from things that are happening internally in your business, in your work, client calls, things you're doing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this is specifically for people who are really busy, who want to get content out there, see the value in it, but want to be as efficient as possible. So you are saying awesome stuff when you're talking to your clients. You're advising people well, you're leading your team internally. But then the second that it comes to you posting that on LinkedIn, you get paralyzed because that's going to take you 30 minutes to get it out there, get it ready to go. And you don't have 30 minutes. And if you did that 30 minutes, it would get in the way of your next call, the next thing you're going to. So you're a little bit overscheduled. You don't have time to build a system to make this effective. You don't want to have to train a virtual assistant to do this. You don't want to use old school methods. You want to do this the most effective way you can, but you're not even sure where to go. You barely even have time to watch this video on YouTube, but at least you think that at least you know that watching the YouTube video is going to give you something of value, and it's going to give you some kind of edge and some hope that this can happen. Now, the good news is that I've automated a lot of this stuff, or I'm in the process of automating even more of it, to the point where if I get off a conversation, I have the building blocks where I can turn that into a post and it can be posted onto LinkedIn in no time. It's good. It represents me. I myself am verifying the content so that I know that I'm approving it. I'm pushing a button before I send it, but I'm not having to worry about when I schedule it. I'm basically loading up the hopper, loading up the queue using AI and automation and a bunch of efficiency tools in order to make this thing just happen in the background. So I'm not thinking about it. Because a lot of this stuff comes down to, if you're left to think about it and you need to think through this thing and you only have 10 minutes, not 30 minutes, you're just not going to do it. You're going to wait until the next time. And then when you do have downtime, you'll post 20 things on LinkedIn and then you'll wonder why it doesn't work, because you're not doing it consistently and you're not doing it from a position of strength. And so the good news is that I've taken a lot of the guesswork out of this thing for you by creating and documenting the process we have. So you can either do this on your own, build these tools on your own, or you can use ProfitSchool as a way to get you there faster and to get the benefits without a lot of the heartache and a lot of the challenges. And so I'm going to walk you through this process of how I take something that I'm already doing and turn it into content here at ProfitSchool. It also works for Measure U. It works for Measure Summit. We have 3 brands that we're trying to support here. We're talking about them all the time, and we want them to be external. And we've made some major headways by using AI and automation to get us there. So I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So I'm going to start with something that is the transcript from a workshop that I just did called the Battle of the Bots. Okay, so this is a 4-day workshop, and this is day 4, and I have the transcript here. So the first thing you need to do, the easiest thing to do, is to record your calls. Any call you have going on internally, any calls you have that you have control over. You could even invite an AI meeting taker, all those different things. Just record your meetings. Now, we can do this internally on our Google Drive. As you can see, this happens from Gemini. So this is built into Gemini. And if you hit the recording piece and you say, also do a transcription and also do notes, it will create that for you. It's amazing. It's included in your Google Suite account. It's included in what you're already paying to Google. So if you're on Gmail and you use Google Meet, it records it. Zoom has a version of this. Pretty much any software out there has a recording. But the easiest, least friction way to do this is to have a recording of your content. And so here's an example of a recording. This isn't from that long ago that this was there. And it's available. And it's pretty comprehensive. Now, I'm obscuring a little bit by not showing you everything in there, but let's just say this is summarizing a 2-hour call. It does it remarkably well. Now, if you don't have the ability to record the call, the next best thing is to go on to your call afterwards, after you're done with the call, and hit the microphone button into Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude, whatever you use, and just start talking. Just start riffing on what happened. So I can be like, hey, BattleBots is really cool because everybody was listening along and we had 5 people do their demos, and we had demos of all kinds of different things that they're using for market research, tools they're using for lead generation, tools they're using for to create case studies and to create to interface with their clients who are engineers. And I was just really impressed by everything they were doing, and it was just awesome. And so I'd like to, start doing some posts where I can give a shout out to these people for what they built, give them some credit, but also talk about what that means with our brain framework from the Battle of the Bots, and just to really show the momentum we have. So that's what was awesome about this workshop we just did. So you can see I'm just talking into here, and I have the text there. So I have text here, I have text there. You can do it either way. This is going to be a little bit more thorough. You're not going to forget anything. It's going to cover your blind spots. And since memory is cheap, I would do it this way. But also, if you don't have the opportunity and you're not recording as you go along, you don't have like one of those devices that records everything you're doing, and this is the next best thing, is right after you get off the call, just putting your thoughts in place. And so that's how you get there. Now, the next step is to turn it into something useful, to something that you can actually utilize, that's worthwhile. So I'm going to show you the best kept secret in the world, because I haven't really told anybody about it, but it is Message Mapper by ProfitSchool. And what Message Mapper does is it allows you to create a message based on somebody's awareness of you by simply putting in your transcript and your details. So here we go. So the first question is, what is the awareness stage of your audience? So are you giving this content? Are you creating content from what you're doing? Is it going to be top of funnel? People who don't know who you are at all. They don't even know they have a problem. Are they problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware? And I'm going to show you each of these things because they all give you different messages and they all put forward. So let's just say that we want to go to an unaware audience. Now, unaware audience is going to be cold traffic. It's not even going to be people who are following you on LinkedIn necessarily. It's going to be ads. It could be something, it could be, it's cold, right? So we don't have a very familiar group of people. So let's just say this is going to go as an ad copy. So we're going to write an ad. We're going to write ad copy for an unaware audience, and then we're going to do it based on the Battle of the Bots. So maybe I'm going to use this as a way to sell the Battle of the Bots. Maybe I'm going to create ad copy in place. Okay, so I drop in that entire transcript, as you can see here. So I go in here and I take this and I drop everything into here. This is the entire 2-hour transcript. And it's going to go ahead and give me some feedback. So it's got my input and it's creating 3 ads for me. Okay, so now we have 3 ads and they're using different hook opportunities using the framework. And so we have from 0 to working AI chatbot in 1 workshop. And this is ultimately what they did on the Battle of the Bots. So while most people are still wondering if AI will replace them, smart business owners are already building bots that scale their expertise. Last week, 5 participants presented working chatbots they built from scratch. An audience research. So it summarizes it. And actually, that's funny. This is sort of my summary right here that I just put in place. And each bot was built by somebody who'd never created an AI who never created AI before. Each one is already generating real business results. Join the next Battle of the Bots workshop. So that's an ad right there. I think that's pretty good. What happened behind the scenes? What happens when 5 business owners build AI chatbots in real time? You get to see exactly how they think, what they build, and the mistakes they make along the way. Last session, Dr. Cheese's got rejected by ChatGPT, which actually happened. So we can go through that, and maybe we'd give different names in there for the ad. This is pretty cool. Now writes 9 YouTube scripts in 31 minutes. So these are all real things that are happening, as you can see from what we're going on. Curiosity, the AI advantage most businesses will never discover. While everybody's debating whether AI is good or bad, a small group of business owners are quietly building cyborgs, merging human intelligence with AI capabilities to scale their expertise. They're not replacing themselves. They're cloning their best thinking bots into bots that work 24/7. Audience research used to take days, now happens in minutes. Email writing. So I would run every one of these things as an ad with a few little cleanup steps, and it's all right there, which is awesome. It's like it even incorporates the talking about a cyborg, which I did talk about on that workshop. So it really understood what was going on here, and I would run these things as ads. Now, what if I wanted to do this as like a LinkedIn post to people? What if I wanted to go to people who are problem aware on LinkedIn? So I'm going to go to a new version of this bot, and I'm going to say, okay, problem aware. And I wanted to put this on LinkedIn. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste in my message again, my text. And so I'm going to paste in right here. And again, this will give us a ton of opportunities, a ton of different things to pull through from here. Okay, so we did problem aware with LinkedIn and social, and it's got our transcript. And this is going to give a little bit different ideas, okay? There's still a hidden problem. Most people are thinking about successful bot is about the AI. It's not. Yesterday I watched. So this could be a post that I put onto my LinkedIn. You can see it's not an ad. It doesn't quite have the transformation or the call to action in there. It's just getting us going on, getting to where we're going. And so we built basically these messages all right here in very little time, by just uploading that transcript. So I took things that I did, and now instead of waiting 3 weeks from now to say 3 weeks from now, I built this thing, it's saying yesterday I watched 5 entrepreneurs build their bots. And so what you can do is you add this little bit of step on top of what you're already doing, and suddenly you're creating content. Now, the cool thing about this is that there's a bunch of different ways you can make this more efficient for you. So let's talk about things like transcripts and getting this content, because the hardest part for a lot of people is to even get this and then to take this out of your Google Drive and to make it so that it automatically does things. Now, we automatically take transcripts. We have a bot that will listen for a new transcript, and then it will automatically turn it into content. It'll automatically turn it into what we need to. So we take all of our call recordings and we post them into ProfitSchool. We post them automatically into Measure U, our different sites, so this can happen proactively. And the way that we do that is by utilizing N8N. And so, for example, we have a call here, and this gets automatically created. This call summary and the takeaways and the chapters are all created automatically based on the transcript of the video. And so I've shown how this works on this YouTube channel before, so make sure you check out that video. We'll even link to it as a related video, but it's pretty cool to see that this stuff is all there for us and it automatically gets generated, because this is a lot of work to create this and to do the chapters. I used to pay somebody $200 a pop to create these things, and it would take 2 weeks. 2 weeks, $200 in order to get this thing going. Now it's done automatically through an automation. We pay maybe 2 cents in order to make this thing happen. Now, there's a few things at play that make this happen as opposed to how you might make it. You need to do a few things linking it together. This is really where an AI agent comes in, as opposed to just an automation, or as opposed to just using an AI bot. And so we've built an automation that does this. And so here's an example of how we do this. So if you look here, one interface is for us is Slack. So I showed this in the last video, how you type in /transcribe. And what ends up happening is that it creates a form to say, okay, what do you want to transcribe? What's the file that you want to put in there? And then where do you want it to go? And you can see this will download the file based on that URL I put in place. It'll upload it to something called AssemblyAI, which is really good at it does transcriptions in like no time whatsoever. So it's like a real-time transcription service. It'll upload the recording, it'll request a transcript. We wait for 5 minutes. Then we download that, and then we go ahead and we see if it's ready. And in this case, we're just putting that transcript into a ClickUp tray, so the transcript is right there. And so from the Slack interface, we have an automation that does this thing. Within 5 minutes, you're going to have a transcript. And so you don't have to go to 60 different places. All you need to do is just put in the 2 pieces of information, your file and where it's going to go, and it will do that for you. Not quite as fast as this automatically happening, but again, at least you have the transcript that you're looking for now. Now, the cool thing is, what happens if you want to take this and you want to turn it into content? I mentioned that. So you have the transcript, you're building these things out, you have this content. What is the next level thing you can do? Well, the next level thing you can do is to then say, okay, let's put all of our content into a sheet where I'm going to approve this. This is the human in the loop that we always talk about here. And then let's download any information we need. Let's get everything in place. And then let's post this onto LinkedIn. Which it does. It posts it onto LinkedIn, and then it updates the sheet to say that it's been posted, and then it lets us know, hey, Jeff, you've done this thing. This thing has been posted for you, and it lets everybody know on Slack. So basically, what ends up happening here is you see I have this sheet. These are all the different tool a day posts or any social posts that I want, and I go through, and it says, this is ready for you to review, Jeff. Once I review it, I look at the image on here to make sure this is working properly. I look at everything that's in here. I can change the status to say approved for posting. And then this agent will go through and say, is anything approved for posting right now on Monday, Tuesday? Every day it goes through there. And if it says yes, and it goes at a random time so that it's not like LinkedIn will be triggered to us, it says, okay, if this day, is there anything that's approved for posting? Okay, then I'm going to go post that out there and run this workflow. And then that thing automatically goes through and it changes the status to say it's posted. And so that's how we know that that's been posted on LinkedIn. So you can see posted, and it tells us when it happened. Posted, 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 posted. And so now it's at the point where all I need to do is I just type in /tool in our Slack, tell it the tool name, and then it just automatically gets put into here as a draft post a few minutes later. And I can just go through and batch these and say that they're ready to go. You can see not all of them are approved, but the ones that I've approved, that's going to be my cue of pushing things out there into the world. And so I have these things working overtime for me. And so the same thing, we're going to scroll here. We're going to create 10 different versions of social posts. I'll read them in a spreadsheet. Once I approve it, that's going to be posted. And then on a random Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that stuff will be put out there into the world. And it's all content from things that I'm doing. So this process normally to create, like I said, I spent $200 to create these summaries of this nature. In order to do that, it took 2 weeks and it was very human intensive. This happens automatically. These posts can pretty much happen automatically once you have the bot working how you want it to. These automations happen automatically. The only thing you need is a human in the loop to say, yes, I'm good with that, with what we're saying here. And you don't need to really pay that much attention to it when you've done it 50 different times, because you know what's going to work because you've honed in and tuned in your system. And so this is how you can create content when you're busy and have it be good and have it be better than you would be if you had all the time in the world, because you're cutting out all the middlemen, all the middle women, all the different things, and you're just getting to where you want to go. So you can see how powerful this is, where you can link everything together, and basically you can create an agent inside of N8N, or you can use the ones that are in ProfitSchool Pro, which we're creating and we're giving out there for our pro members. You can use that in order to get that result without having to really compromise your styles, without having to have the 5 to 10 hours to go figure this thing out on your own. It's just working for you. And that's what the power of automation is. That's what gets me excited, gets me ready to go into work every day, is that ultimately all the things that I'm talking about already are going to be my content. So you'll know about these things. Every YouTube video I post, everything I do is content. And now we're making sure of that by utilizing these things and chaining them together. And it's just so much fun when you see these things. Now you got to start with building blocks. Battle the Bots, the workshop we had, is all about building blocks. It's all about giving you that initial point in time where you're taking your thing and you're making it repeatable. Once you have that building block in place and you can chain things together, that's when you have an autonomous AI agent or a semi-autonomous. You keep yourself in the loop. You make sure that you approve of what's saying, but that goes down from something that you would do, it would be your entire life. You'd have to hire a social media manager so you can do it in less than an hour a week, and it gets the best of you and it makes you look as great as possible, and it keeps the content coming instead of being desperate and only working on it at certain times and only being able to put something out there when you have the time to do it. Now your content is out there all the time. It's in different formats. It's in different forms, different social networks. You can do all that here with these automations. So we're just scratching the surface of what we can do, but this is really, automating this thing has really been awesome for us to get our participation up and to get things out there and to take our internal stuff and make it external. And so that's what this video is all about, showing you how we did it. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts and your improvements and what you're doing and what you're making when it comes to this as well. So thanks for watching this episode of the Profit School podcast, and I can't wait to see you in our next one.